let's see. I'm gonna do what it's gonna do because Verkayat is a little upset that her computer is just being shit at everything, and it shouldn't be. I have a 5900X. It has no excuse. Just it has no excuse. My fan curves were off for some reason. Okay, let's see. So if you hear me, I'm gonna start VR up. And if you hear me go quiet for a sec and then change the game mode, you know that I'm upset. I don't feel like fist fighting my PC. Hi, maybe. Shit's fucked. Hi, how are you? Shit's fucked. Alright, let's see. Out of my way, Yoga Ball. I'm a VR streamer and VR is running like dick. Alright. Alright, let's just run the bare minimum and see. Liv, where are you? Hello? That's not a great sign. That's not a great sign. That is a terrible sign of things to come. Hey, can somebody in my chat say something, please? Oh. 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 Well. Disabled. It's way better. It is objectively better. Alright, let's see. Sorry, 1 second. Now, is it gonna look okay on stream? Because if it doesn't, we're just gonna suddenly be playing Guild Wars. Oh. Well, oh, good. Does it look fine on stream? Does it look okay? Like, actually. Like, tell me actually. I'm never touching a Vast antivirus ever again. I'll put it that way. Why am I so crusty? Looks good? Hey! We're in fucking business then. Well, kind of. Now the real test is once I pull out my... Oh, it's getting worse. Avast, it got more than walk the plank. You could hear my keys clack while I, type uninstall. I love the Rezu so much. Hang on. You know what? No. Oh, there's my tits. Hang on. You get the fucking TikTok cam. Get over here. Alright. So, personal emblem. So what I'm gonna have to do is just rip the shock out and put it on a different eye, or a different expression. Okay, I could stream like this. I could stream like this. It's better than VR was in the 90s where it was like 20 FPS. It's at 30. It's at 30. That's bad. Hey, VR chat, what the fuck? It's so bad. It is so bad. No more tech difficulties? Well, I'm actively having one right now, so, I'm gonna have to probably spend the entire weekend, having not a lot of fun. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. So what they seem to have done is, make the, menu smoother by killing the rest of the game. Okay. Okay, let's get back in the headspace. Okay, so, we have these. Okay, tell me, would you be comfortable watching like 8 hours of this level of camera? Would it be fine? Because if so, I don't give a shit. I can be seasick. I don't get VR sick. I just get annoyed when things aren't perfect. So, clothes. Those aren't clothes. That's skin. Raptor! Sideways? Oh, fuck, right. I forgot it doesn't auto-rotate. I'm sorry. Hang on, you get cinematic bear. There you go. Okay, there's this. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. Tech difficulties, but I'm doing pretty good. Hi, Trinity. How you doing, hon? So we have this. This is my new main avatar. I'm doing alright. Ah. Way! Wonderful! Am I on red? Oh, I'm on red. I shouldn't be on red on stream. People get the wrong idea. So we have the warmers. We have the harness, which I textured myself. I do all my clothes and stuff myself. Well, the textures at least. I got the harness going. Got the mom bod going. I mean, it's not close to my body type yet, but yeah. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check something real quick. All right, I'm gonna switch to the medium spec of this. Doesn't have the clothes on it. Yeah, they made the. Oh. Why is the meat spec? Why is the med spec? There we go. We got the big and long fur going. Got the mom bod. Hey. Yeah! But yeah, same rules apply as always. If I know you, and I know you're not, if I know you well enough to know that you're not gonna say shit on stream that you shouldn't say, you can join me. I'm also sorry for the repeated restarts, but I am gonna have to find a new antivirus because that sucked. And I hate Malwarebytes now because they do the thing of where now they give you a free trial, but if you have something on your computer, apparently you have to pay for the thing to actually like remove it, which is fucked. Yeah, how we doing, everybody? I'm gonna find a world that runs better. Oh my god, it's like early VR chat. What, since when? I don't know, but that's what I read after I let my subscription lapse. Because, I mean, I can confirm that it wouldn't let me do literally anything once my subscription lapsed. It's just like, hey, you need to renew. What I'm gonna do is find a lower spec world. Hi, Skycoat! Hi.
You like kissing green, don't you?
My fucking noise canceling not on? No, it wasn't. You could hear literally every little noise I made. Alright, so... Hi, I'm Verkayet. I am overwhelmed. No, this is Rot's music. This is Rot's music. Yeah. But hi, everybody. This is the first time I've used this avatar in VR, and I fucking love it. Hey, guess what? Guess what you can do? Guess what you can do? Wow, 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 wow. You can change shit on the fly! You can change shit on the fly! Whoa. And for our ear enjoyers in chat, hang on. Oh! Oh! Instant Fennec. I love this thing so much. And not made by Rezio, so I like it even more. That is something I objectively don't need to get into on stream. If you want to know, look it up. Or ask me off stream. Let me rub those ears. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, also. Joe Beans is back. Also, look at this fucking chest tuft! Look at this chest tuft! I love this chest tuft.
Alright, campers, show beans.
So chat, my VR just hard crashed. So, I'm I'm upset. I'm upset. I'm very, no, that's not what crashed VR. It, crashed for no reason. It crashed for no reason. It crashed for no reason. It crashed for no fucking reason. That's the third time it's done it, and I'm upset and concerned. And I'll be right back. We're playing Guild Wars 2. We're playing fucking Guild Wars 2. I'm gonna go get my desk here. Nah. Well, welcome on in, sweetie. How you doing? Oh, that was unpleasant. So, also another reason that was unpleasant was because, one, I don't know what caused it, and also it, like, froze, but also looked like... So, you know, I doubt a lot of you know what... Like, you know how when you rip all of the RAM out of a computer, or, like, rip a stick of RAM out of a computer, when it's still on, and it just shows a bunch of garbage? Yeah. I will say it might be time for a new headset. Considering that when I check the, like, camera of the Vive, it's green. And, like, and it won't detect my, my face tracker anymore. So, there's a, Nice. I will say I will just assume it is legal in your state, because that stuff can't really be discussed on stream. Or, well, yeah, but... It's not where I am. Stream. Hi, Motley. Hi. We're gonna play my comfort game. Because, Steam VR encountered an unexpected critical error and stopped working. Oh no, bluntly, Steam VR chat is how I cope with my dysphoria, and it's not working correctly. But it's only done that off Steam once. What I'm gonna do before next stream is I'm gonna update my drivers, see what I can do, and just hope. But because it shouldn't be running that badly, it just objectively shouldn't. I pull a solid 90 no matter what in that world. Yeah, we're gonna play some Guild Wars 2 because Guild Wars 2 is my comfort game. Guild Wars 2 also has an update right now. Guild Wars 2 also has an expansion coming out, which I'm really fucking jazzed for. So what we are gonna do is I used my level 80 boost on a certain Verkayat character. So, yeah. Not gonna lie, that did upset me quite a bit. Hello, Hardburn. Wait a second. Did you do... Why is game mode on? Enjoy your pizzer. So chat, hey, guess what was turned on? That everybody... No, not game mode. Game mode is fucking hella. Game mode. You know the thing that everybody's like, oh, you know how it says it makes your games run better? It does the opposite. Gay engaged? I'm gonna make a stupid joke and say I'm so happy for them. So yeah, the thing that everybody tells you to immediately turn off as soon as you possibly can. On. Or hang on, wait. Got it. Hey, I'm gonna turn all your shit off, Xbox. Is that cool? Yeah, thanks, Windows. For accounts. Capturing. Off. None. Features. I'm glad it's DirectX 12. Whatever the fuck. Fucking Techgasm edition. Cool. Edit more preferences in Windows settings. Turn off the fucking game bar. Fuck shit. Thank you. Welcome to modern Windows, where the first thing you do is turn literally all of it off. Wait, I got that. Second. Okay, the rebar is enabled. I have proper tensile strength in my computer's concrete. That is an out there joke, even for me. So everybody, Da-da-da-da. Enjoy your lurk, Motley Coyote. So everybody, welcome to... I know it's not the best game ever, but it is my favorite game ever. So, this... I'm gonna leave that native. This game... I adore this game. This game... I am currently pulling 150 FPS on. I adore this game. This is Guild Wars 2. I've been playing it for several years. I'm not, like, I'm not new to it, but... I'm gonna change that to 60. There we go. There's a new expansion that was just announced. And the last expansion was so good that, the one thing I asked for Christmas was the album of the soundtrack on vinyl, because it is just so goddamn good. Also, sorry, you said you were here for cuteness. I forgot to turn on my shit. None. I was smart, and by smart, I mean made questionable sleep decisions, and as soon as I got the resu yesterday, I made a VRM of it, and now VSF isn't. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Also, everybody, I apologize if upset there kind of made you a little uncomfortable. I have tech anxiety. A lot. How you doing? How you doing? Ah! The blinding light of light. Okay, there we go. There's the Q&A. Oh, okay. Hang on. I have to put on my second collar to use my arms. Hang on. I'm gonna go. So I accidentally, apparently my loud what the fuck woke up sir, because usually when I say what the fuck like that, it means I hurt myself. So I'm gonna apologize to him real quick. 1 second. I will say I can't let the music on the menu play because I got dinged for it. So enjoy Operation Dug and Flange. Gumroad, if you send me an email with the word upsell in it one more time, I'm going to multi-collar tracking. Yeah, I have one collar that I am literally not allowed to take off. And then there's the other one I use for VTubing that used to be my collar that I wasn't allowed to take off. Yeah. It's kind of a relationship dynamic. I can't, like, hey, people from Fifum's chat, how does Fifum explain it? Because, yeah. I feel bad for waking Sir up. Apparently, he was asleep. I woke him up. You see, explain no more? Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, I could also just say the term, and if you know, you know. The other collar is my day collar, or my walkabout collar. So there we go. Alright, hang on. It's working weird for some reason. So by working weird, I think I mean it's working how it's supposed to. And it wasn't doing that in my old install, which, CMD, run as administrator, yes, SFC/scan now. Thank you, Badger, for the perfect explanation for TPE. Thank you. Because it is literally the... The hand tracking is so good. Also, hey, guess what? I finally went ahead and, like, painted her nails, or made her nails like how I paint mine, where the middle finger is always a different color. Hang on. Hang on. Sorry, this avatar is very new to me, and I love it. Oh my god. The eyeliner wing doesn't disappear. And then, my favorite expression. When the DPS runs in with no support. I think that can just explode for a little bit. It is cute! And so, Hirozu has had a lot of bullshit happen recently. Go buy this. If you like it, go buy it. This has the Verkaya seal of approval on Avatar. It is excellent. If you like it and you have the money, go purchase it. Hirozu deserves it. Oh, hi, I was down. I was small for a second. Not the nano. No, I gotta put myself in front of chat. God, it is so goddamn cute. And it like... I will put it this way. You know how the shonen protagonist in the anime always has that moment? Oh, good. Windows Resource Protection did not find any integrity violations. Cool. So, you know how the shonen protagonist is usually like, I will do this thing. I will beat it. I will be victorious. That is me with Windows and VR right now, which isn't great. So this is my new main, Mirage. We're gonna be doing hero point stuff, okay? Which means you're gonna all see the beginnings of the main story. Well, the DLC. Manifesting. Yeah, manifesting. I'm manifesting me beating my technology into submission. Oh. Hi, how are you doing, eh? How you doing, eh? Hi. Big murder key. Big yeah. Hi, I like Char. Yo, I'm still pulling while streaming 50 FPS in the friggin' Factorium waypoint. I'll fucking take it. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna farm hero points. Also, I bought the new thingy, the new DLC already. This skin is from it, because they give you cool shit. Oh, my inventory is there. I love it so much. Oh my god, they made something that looks cool! But I'm sorry, I can't cover up those gorgeous locks. I'm sorry. I did switch to my desk chair, by the way. what's with this default skin bullshit? Sorry, Guild Wars 2 is Fashion Wars 2, so. Oh. Nice. How we doing, chat? Herb! Oh my god! No! Don't make them so cute! What the hell? Sorry, you have to be horrifying. You could be fucking sexy, though. Let's go! Hang on. I gotta do the main story bullshit, don't I? I do. Okay. Everybody! Hang on, what am I doing? H.
Research log.
Champion, I need to speak with you.
I don't like how I saw a flash of green.
Happening, and I'd like to discuss it. In person. Also, if I'm honest, I wouldn't mind seeing your face. Again. In person. Don't let that go to your head.
So, the youngest cub says, you hold him down, I'll kick him in the ribs. I swear, cubs these days.
Oh god. Oh good, 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 good. Oh, thank you. Oh my god. Okay, let's do the thing. Need to farm hero points for this goober because I'm gonna be using her a lot.
Champion, it's wonderful to see you.
Me.
Even
Hi.
with Jormak and
I'm sorry, I tapped out. Ah! Oh, I have like...
disaster.
I had like 3 instances of
Yes.
VSF rating.
Well,
Oh, that's
it
what my
does
frames are
feel
so bad. Okay,
different,
cool.
though. Can't put my finger on it. Like, change is coming. Real change.
I feel it too, Champion. That's why I wanted to see you. I've begun to
So yeah.
perceive something. A distant presence. An ancient presence. It's a ripple in the mists. Like a dolphin in the deep, sounding to sense what's out there, and I want to respond. But before I do, I check my visions. All my possible futures converge to one point. Today.
And you can't see past it.
And I can't see past it.
Are you sure? Does it mean you die?
I'm not sure of anything, except my urge to respond. To say, yes, I'm here.
You're not scared?
I'm intrigued. I'm intensely curious. And even if I die, we know I won't stay dead.
We think.
Whatever it is, I can handle it. I just wanted to tell you, before it all begins.
You know what?
How does it begin?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I
But I
do.
know it involves Tiny and Gorik.
Then I'll talk to them.
Oh, you want to know who I'm talking to? Heartburn, the dragon, who is a dragon. She's not a ghost. She's like crystal. Yeah, it's Aureen.
I've been thinking about these past months.
This is the most recent expansion, and the reason I'm playing is because another one is coming out in August on the 22nd, and there's... She very big, she very pretty, she very sweet. There's an expansion dropping on the 22nd, and I have a lot of story stuff to catch up on.
Right choice?
And I also have every single living world thing. So, hi, I like Guild Wars 2.
I've been thinking about these past
I love this avatar so much.
Primordius and Jormak.
There's a new build available. My game will restart in 2
I made a
hours.
conscious choice not to involve myself.
Also, I do
As a
have a
nascent
community
elder
guild.
dragon,
There's
I was
buffoons.
wary of my own power, but lately I've wondered, was
Feel free
that
to
the
shoot me
right
an invite.
choice?
Ah, Guild Wars 2 Bean? Hi. Hi. Yeah. I love the last expansion so much I got that vinyl for Christmas. Hang on. There we go.
Commander.
Commander!
You're back. That's, good. That's great.
Is she...
Something to do with
Hang
Goric.
on, it's too loud.
Yeah, okay, so Gorik and I have been up here doing research, looking for a way to end the dragon cycle. Cause, like, who needs that noise every 10,000 years, am I right? So many dead people and the...
Hang on, I need to... Sorry, Timey. Sorry.
column.
Ah.
An old inquest column.
Actually, Lorgans, guess what? I have a delightful thing to show you so much that I have a delightful thing to show you that my friend is currently also doing a Pride sale on. Hang on. You're gonna love this. Like, actually. Oh, yes, my friend. Oh, yes, my friend. Oh, yes, my friend. I am happy to show you the Ashera Dragon Cat, my char main in VR chat.
Exactly.
Why do you care?
Hi, Cinder. Hi.
What should I?
Why indeed?
I'm sorry, are you worried for Lord something?
Did I get an update? The Ashera Dragon Cat? Kind of recently?
You want me to go find him at the pass? Bring him back?
Alchemy! Would you please? Thank you, Commander.
You came. You asked.
Oh no.
I like that you trusted me. It's different this time. I know we Silvari tend to come off as sophisticated.
Yeah, I adore the Dragon Cat. My friend made it.
Oh, indeed.
Wonderfully made avatar. Absolutely love the thing. Works amazingly. Works great.
30 odd years.
I have a few things that I have been able to test that are on mine that aren't on the main one yet.
Knowledge we have, but knowledge and wisdom are different things. I think back to when I was
Taco is also
young.
just a delightful person.
Don't recognize that person.
Ah, Neos, yeah. I can't speak to Neos. I just know it works great in VR chat.
Everything.
I tried Neos, just wasn't my thing.
Of a sort.
I could see the appeal. Didn't enjoy it. I use VR chat to hang out.
There anymore. My
If I was
world
gonna move anywhere, I'd move to chill out.
perspective have-
Broadened.
I knew you would understand.
Its UI is, it's not bad. It's just, honestly, I just say it's like centered. Yeah, it's a great theme park. Exactly. I'd say, Neos is like having an enthusiast, like, computer. You know the minutia. It's like a laptop you built yourself, and you know all the ins and outs of it. You know how it works. You know what to do to get it working better. VR chat is like an off-the-shelf laptop you bought at... Yeah, exactly. It's like Second Life. It's a sandbox. It is only a sandbox. It's like... Yeah. Thank you.
Gang back together, huh? I mean, not the whole gang.
And it makes sense, because I couldn't see the appeal in Second Life, so, yeah.
Logan's
Also,
back
hi.
Kanaki's
I was a
with
Second
Saida,
Life furry for a bit.
Zero, Gretchen,
I also did
Tiny Barnes with
IMVO.
Ram, Aaron Snapper dead. I don't know where the heck Zoja is.
Timing, I'll get Gorik. It's going to be okay.
I know. Not bad, considering it's mostly speculation. There's so much we don't know we don't know.
Wait,
You have Aurene.
And she's been super helpful, but she's only one Elder Dragon.
The
and
V-
not exactly
the
typical
drivers I'm on.
species. We have so many questions.
Same.
How did she
I
ascend?
was admittedly
Where
a
did the
bit
others
young
come
to
from?
really
Are there any more out there?
get
diaries
Second
record
Life.
at
I
least one
guess.
The water dragon.
Draconology is an evolving field of study. Hypotheses must be supported by evidence. They live their lives on a time scale we can barely comprehend. Some days I wonder.
But
if
also,
they're
yes, I
knowable
am
at all.
doing a
But
bit
like you
of the
said,
most
you
recent
have
story
Aurene.
DLC, so
And she makes
or
all
the most
difference.
recent expansion. So there will be spoilers. Just to let you know, there will be spoilers. To let you know.
Ups and downs. Could do with fewer of the
Oh,
downs.
that's how I talk to
Some
my
days
friends
I
when
wake
I'm
up feeling
been
like
just
there's
having
a
hell,
9
and they're
volts
like,
in the
"Oh,
brain
okay."
pan to get me out of bed, you know? But most days are fine. And we
Dappies?
don't need
What?
to talk about the other days.
Have you been getting any rest?
Not enough.
That's not true. Okay, yes, that's true. I'm just getting so close to figuring out where all that magic went. That's not a good excuse, though. More
Oh.
rest, fewer symptoms,
Ah!
fewer symptoms, happier timey.
Oh. Just putting that into world chat. Introverted isopod. Hi, that's a mood. There we go. We're going. Wait, hey yo, are they just giving me the waypoints? I'll take it. I'm gonna update my drivers and see if that helps, because I think I remember hearing that some of the more recent ones, but not the newest ones, fucked with VR a lot. We'll see tomorrow, because tomorrow is the next VR chat stream, if it works. If it doesn't, well, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just in general. I love Chill Out VR, because it's like everything I love about VR chat, but
Wait up, Commander.
done
What are you
well,
doing here?
if that makes sense. Like, I'm not used to being in a full Black Cat instance and
Just
getting
thought
a
you could use the
solid
company.
90 on my
Seems implausible.
Gen 1 Vive. VR
Oh.
chat is
Tell me
not
about this
great.
old friend you're meeting.
Yeah,
It's not great.
Oh, Anka.
I say that as a VR chat streamer.
Detail.
Anka? She's an old colleague from my time at Thaumanova. We had a highly productive collaboration. I mean, I may have occasionally experienced mild heart arrhythmia when we were working together, but as Blish always
Very
said,
cobbled together and
don't
scrambled.
masticate
Yeah.
where you hibernate.
What?
Yep. It's like it's a fur
Something.
affinity
I'm
situation.
paraphrasing.
Straight up.
I lost touch with her years ago. After she left the inquest, we haven't spoken
Everybody's already
since.
there, and the people that move kind of just.
Passion can.
I mean, I have moved off of Twitter for co-host, but just because I objectively enjoy co-host better.
No,
It's like how
nothing
old
that.
social media was,
Just
where there
two
was no
ex-colleagues
algorithm and you
sharing
only
research
saw
on
stuff
the
you
problem.
followed.
And Commander, we do
Also, they have a cool
problem.
thing where you
Tiny
don't
and I
just
have been working on
you
a
can't just
hypothesis about elder
co-host.
dragons and magic.
It is the social media platform I'm on. I just prefer it better. It's definitely a personal preference thing. Mastodon.
hurry.
So
It's a
I
little
gave
chilly
Mastodon a shot, but there's nothing in my area for Mastodon. It's so decentralized that there's nothing in my area that I'm even interested in. It's all just tech bros tech broing,
Nor are you. Anka, allow me to
which is
introduce-
weird. There's not a single furry that I could find on that site, or like not a single furry thing in the area,
Pajama.
which is weird because I'm in a big city.
Right back at you.
Feels like
And I
only
love
yesterday
decentralization,
we
but
were
I
side
couldn't
by
figure it
side,
out, and I'm just like,
two
but
interns
but,
working to
but-
push the boundaries of science.
Those were the days.
I'm here for
I
cute
meant
art.
to reach out after what happened. I did. But there was this plague. needles incubating
Yeah, I
in
just
people's
couldn't wrap my
faces.
head around it, and it's,
It was a
eh,
long time ago.
I don't know.
A lot's happened since then.
I'm happy to see you're well. And
I
eager to
don't
see this
know.
new data of yours.
I'm not smart. I'm just a dog.
That's... yeah.
Not self-deprecation. If you know me, you know that's
made
not
that up.
Well,
She
I use the
what?
word stupid,
Made
but
it
it's
up?
not
But
self-deprecation.
you said you don't have a passion for elder dragons?
More of a
Instances?
professional
Ah.
interest. One in particular.
So it's like
I think you know her.
BBS,
Wait a
but more,
second.
kind of.
You
I
do
guess.
want something.
Is that a good
do.
comparison?
Me and my Aether Blades.
Aether blades.
Bye, Commander.
Hey!
You don't know me, and trust me, it's not.
I knew she couldn't be trusted.
Hi, I play Mesmer. I also make Necro. So, it's... okay. I'll put it this way. It's not deprecation, it's degradation. And if you know why I use that specific word, you know.
Healthy and old.
Stop hitting me. Degrading quality for sure. Yeah, that's definitely what I meant. Hi, Irene. Oh, you're big.
Come, champion. We'll catch them.
Maureen, hold on. We need a plan.
There's
I'm
no
like
time.
your like
They took
adopted
Warwick.
char
You can
mom
come
though.
with me, or I can go alone. Either way. But I'm not staying out of the fight this time.
This plays on Steam Deck?
Saya.
Doesn't
and
surprise me.
champion.
Like this actually runs pretty damn well. Is it optimized? Are like the controls good? Cause hi, I want a transparent
Find it.
degrading in quality. Yes, definitely. That's yes, definitely. Hi, I'm a nasty green collie.
They're not clowns. They're killers.
Ah, okay, okay. My favorite thing I ever saw is I'm a veteran player of this. Well, not as much as some, but I love this. The huge block of people that were just right outside the starting zone, or like right outside the tutorial zone for the char that were just waiting to welcome people from Steam. Yo, I play Condielli, so that's interesting to me. How did you get the piano playing to work? Like, that's impressive. Ooh, oh, hell yeah. Oh, hi. You're neat.
Aether blades are insidious, but for pirates, they're weirdly into data entry. Check the terminal for a map, a flight plan.
Hi, Mighty Mentor. How are you, hon? How you doing? Of a gaming group?
Charts,
No.
they don't make
I'm
any
a part of a
sense.
Twitch
Why
team,
would the
though.
Aether blades go to...
If you're about to promote something, I would strongly advise against it because you will be banned.
I'm reading a lot of wind shear up there. You can't use your glider.
That's... Are you here to enjoy my content or are you here to promote something? Just bluntly.
Anger rising. Might makes
Hang on to your pantaloons, Sky Pirates!
Have fun. Oh, honey. Honey, honey, honey. Just no, hun. I'm sorry. You don't come in here and self-promote and then insult me.
See anything strange?
Yeah, off they go.
You could say
Fine.
that.
That's like on.
The mists.
That is on the level of like people that would like say they could help you get into MLG on Xbox 360. I don't appreciate it.
Just you and me now, champion.
Maybe just you.
Like,
I have no way to get to
if
the
they
next
were
ship.
if they were like
I
legitimately
think you'll
self-promoting,
enjoy
that's, well, it's not fine. It's literally directly against Toss, but the immediate aggression, I do not appreciate. I will put it this way. In my brain, I am currently cackling and saying, does that mean I'm a real, quote-unquote real streamer now?
Like, do I look like I need help?
It's like, I gave them 3 chances. Yeah, exactly. Oh, definitely. Definitely. That's like, hey, no. That's like... Don't redeem the... Yeah. It's a hobby.
Healthy and
People forget games are games for fun.
might.
Oh, no, that was definitely a fucking scam. I could see it a million miles off. Like, that's like... That classic meme audio of do not redeem the card, do not redeem us. Do not redeem it. It's like,
I'm redeeming the card. Yeah, that's what you said. I'm redeeming the card.
Anyway, I'm fine moving on now. It's like, hi. I'm already always on guard because I am trans and open about it. Hi, hello. I gave you 3 chances. You used your 3 chances to get aggressive. You are being banned. I am not. Mama ain't nice about shit like that. Sorry.
No one has to get hurt.
Everyone thinks I'm your pet.
Evasive maneuvers. Hard to stop her.
Lorgans, thank you so much, hon. Welcome on in. I hope you enjoy your time here, because you seem pretty fucking cool and chill.
I've got 2 munitions. Weapons check on the extractor. Prepare for live operation.
Captain told us not to use it.
Just a contingency.
Hi. Hey. Hey, Heartburn. This entire game is about dragons. Just letting you know. Usually you're trying to kill them until you're not, and then it's like, oh wait, there's good and but yeah. There's also like a necrotic dragon that like has like control over plants, with all the implications that has. No! Well, yeah. It's like, I have the misfortune of, 1, being a girl who is good at games, so I intimidate people. I just said I was good at video games. Yeah, hi. I'm a silly bitch. I'm a furry who is trans. Can you be a dragon or scaly girl? I don't think so. I think all we get are the big sexy war kitties, which I'm fine with. Yeah, you could be. Yeah.
Can't believe you fell for that.
Can't believe I fell for what? I just literally fell. I don't even have an elite spec, honey.
Having fun in there, you filth rat.
I'm just thinking back to that scammer thing. Shut the fuck up and answer my question. I did. You're being banned. That is my answer, honey.
Light makes
No Gork. And I'm trapped. Gotta be a way to overload the system.
Yeah, shoot your fucking greatsword laser at it. Also, yes, hi, I am the stereotypical trans girl who really likes Fallout New Vegas and Ultra Kill. Oh, yeah. This game is great. I also like ANET, for, like, they're a dev studio, so they do kind of have some issues with, like, they're not, like, horrible, like, Blizzard issues. It's more like one time somebody didn't get paid for a really long time, which is still not great, but, I'll take that over, your CEO or whatever being an abuser.
Mother tree! The dragon!
Haven't seen Aurene like this in a while.
What? You've heard it was external hardware support? Oh, yeah, the plug. You know, yeah, that.
Piss off, Commander!
Also, hi, Tabby. How you doing, hun? Welcome on in. Also, it's funny. It's like, hi, scammer. I'm a massive brat. You chose the wrong person. If I wanted to, I could have led you on for like 30 minutes until you left, but nah. This is a gaming stream.
It's too far. I have to steer this thing closer.
Steer it! Steer it! You have a fucking pilot's license, definitely. That would have been a hoot. It would have. But, I wasn't in the mood after VR just going kaput. Puppy noises. Oh!
What the hell's going on?
How am I doing that? I'm fucking cracked at this game, yo. I am very squeaky.
Damn it! We don't even know what that thing does. Is it... How long until the jump? Almost ready, Captain.
Howdy, bitch. Do I want to kill all of you? No, I'm hero point farming right now. Well, I'm...
Whatever it takes.
Hi. Welcome to targeting. I wish I would have just face palmed right off of that. It is kind of good that that didn't happen while I was in VR, because obviously when I have a fucking TV strapped to my face, I'm a bit more distracted. Hi! Ah!
Did that hurt?
Prepare for extrication from the mists. Initiate portal activation.
Tiny, we're out of the mist. Can you see our location?
Hang on.
Mass in the distance. Tiny! Must be out of comms range.
Hang on. Who bought me Big Papa Pickle on Throne? Who did that? I mean, obviously, if you want to remain anonymous, don't say it, but... Oh, we had barbecue for lunch while we were out.
Commander. Just in time to see it firsthand.
Hey, chat.
Good.
Let's tell, not,
crawling where they don't
Let's
belong.
tell Heartburn about the entirety of what the Asura are. Considering she said that she likes Magitech stuff. Do you...
Don't hurt me, please. I'll tell you anything.
So, how would you feel about an entire faction of small little Yoda people that their whole thing is that they are basically like Jimmy Neutron level geniuses? It was you? Okay. Thank you, I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Yoders are fun. Hang on, we're about to meet Gorik.
Commander!
Yeah, one of those.
He tortured me.
Ooh. I love Jamaican food. I love most... Okay, once I reach a good stopping point, I'm gonna make myself some fish sausage and heat it up in the... Well, I'm gonna heat it up and make some... I have kimchi and fish sausage.
Kidnapping? What's gotten into her?
This goober's an Asura.
Right now, we have to get off this ship.
She used to be so
Sorry about
nice.
this, Gorik.
I could fix her. She used to be nice. I can fix her.
Our people are on that ship. Hold fire! Just taking a little initiative, Captain.
Just there, Commander.
Meet me on the deck! Hey!
Right for us, Captain. Evasive maneuver! I've got her in my sights.
I've got them in my sights.
There she is.
So, Heartburn, if you're interested in this game, I will also say that, like, on average, they have a promotion running right now where I think all 3 of the current expansions and the 4th one are $90, I think?
There's a problem, and I handled it.
And,
I think we're going down.
got the big suck. Yeah, they got the big suck. Wagonyo! Hey, Heartburn, I regret to inform you that this DLC is called End of Dragons. Yeah. But the entirety of the base game of this is free. Just straight up, like to level 80, and then you can just keep playing. I love this game so much. Still... What was that Google result? Oh no. Oh god. That actually does high-key suck.
Seems to be stabilizing. Last I knew, he was a dead man.
Hang on, I'm just gonna tab out. Okay, let me look at the promotions because, like, this report group is useless and assume. Yeah, that tracks. Okay, so Elder Dragon Saga's complete collection. Okay, yeah, it's currently on sale. Oh, wait, ayo, holy shit. All 3 expansions, every single Living World season for $80. That's really goddamn good. That is 3 X packs and like that's a that's such a good deal. Also, I'm sorry if I seem to appear to be selling this to you.
Changes you. I'm not built for hard time, Commander. There's still so much to learn, so much science to be done. Never even got a chance to tell. I won't die in this cell, you hear me? I won't. Jail my body, but my mind is free. Okay, calm down, everyone. Think. Scrap metal. If I find some, we can hone it into a a shiv. We have to establish dominance. Find the biggest, most intimidating inmate and stab him in the carotid artery in front of the whole cafeteria.
Gorik, what the fuck?
Then what have we become? Are we monsters, Commander? And were we all along? Maybe prison doesn't change you.
mood. I have this, and then I don't have an MMO, but I have State of Decay 2, which I'm
There is no morality.
probably gonna reinstall, or I'm probably gonna play right after this because
We must be as ruthless
my
as
connection
the
is
beetle,
not private.
as deadly
What
as
the
mantis,
fuck?
as resilient
My
as the
everything's
roach.
being weird. He's a massive nerd. He's a massive nerd, and he scares easy. He's also technically a
Time's
bioterrorist.
up? Are we being executed?
Warframe, I just couldn't get
Friends
into.
negotiated your release.
Our
Big-headed
friends?
man, hi.
Follow me.
You're still a cop,
No
but
fun
you're.
business.
I like your
Still in
hat,
custody.
Officer, may I ask your name?
Detective Rama.
Detective Rama.
Based. Oh my
name's
god.
I'm
Yeah,
an
I don't
entomologist.
need your life story. You washed up on my beach. Gave me a crap ton of paperwork.
I mean, this is. So this is the expansion specifically that has a quest goal that is, quote,
terrorism in Amnoon.
He grew a beetle in
beat
his arm.
up the bigot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the
Staying
best
busy,
ever
Akana?
way I've ever seen
All right, you two. Release
Warframe
forms. By
explained.
signing this, you affirm that the Ministry of
Hey,
Security
at
has
least
treated
it's
you
not
fairly
like,
and humanely. You
um,
suffered no unreasonable bodily harm. during
Why
your
are we in
life.
chat? Korea. I'm pretty sure this is
first,
supposed to be Korea.
Terrorist.
So cool thing about this. Well, it's Asia. It's Asia.
Last night.
It's just Asia. Like, yeah. Basically, this part is basically it's been an Iron Curtain scenario where they have been sealed off for the rest of the world with no contact for 100 years, hundreds of years, and you just showed up.
Your personal effects from the box there.
You just showed up.
We hope you enjoyed your stay at the Xinjie Detention Center. Now, if you'll follow me.
Yeah, I think this is
Akane,
just supposed to be like
down the forest.
Asian imagery, basically. I love it. It is so pretty.
I was trying to tell
Also,
you,
check
Commander,
out
the
the
airship
check out the
crash-landed in
soundtrack.
Cantha, come for the waters, stay for the hospitality. Been a while. Did you miss us?
I've heard all this before. I'm literally just doing this for
I don't
hero
know what to
points.
say.
Only been 114 years. Not like you had time to prepare something.
114 years. Okay. Virtuoso.
What the alchemy is that?
You know what?
Security Mac or something. I can't keep up with all the new
Hey,
tech.
Vare, you're gonna get 2 knives instead of 1 really big knife. How does that
Has
feel?
Kenta been trading with Radissoon?
Which part of we've been closed to the outside world for over 100 years did you not understand?
Arm. Basically, Heartburn, I'm sorry, but this is like this is like the 3rd expansion.
And we're here.
Gumroad has
Welcome to Cantha.
issues. And I don't know, I've never asked. So I played the entirety of this expansion on stream when it first came out. Yeah. You would have, but that's a lot of story. There's also the living world stuff because what they did instead of like
Minister of Security
they did
wants to
a
speak with
living
you
world
after.
thing where between each thing there'd be several seasons of living world content. I hate Icebrood. I literally created my own headcanon because I hated Icebrood so much. Icebrood made people scared that the game was gonna die because it was they even admitted, hey, this was kind of rushed. Which I commend them for admitting, hey, no, yeah, this was kind of rushed. Fuck was that? The fuck? What is that? That? What the fuck? Oh. The top 4 MMOs for having actual storylines. I love Guild Wars 2. I have been told that Final Fantasy XIV is just straight up the best MMO out there.
You're here.
Have you heard
I haven't played WoW since
she's
Legion
fine.
and was
Recovering.
only playing it because my friends
Don't
played it.
worry.
I don't
Please.
enjoy it.
You'll see her soon.
And
take a moment
that's
to find
all
your
I've
families.
played,
After we heard
except
about
for
what
some
happened,
Korean
we were
MMOs that are probably not still around
Anyway.
in the US.
Took a little while, but it all worked out. Sort of.
I'm still missing some pieces. How did you find us?
Find you? You kind of caused a hot, steaming mess of a circus show.
An international incident.
Jenna sent me to Smooth Feathers. And no way would I let Jory miss the opportunity.
Hang on, everybody.
Don't know about
So
that.
I actually have to BRB for a second. Throne is having issues. Everything is having issues right now. We're an international embarrassment. Hell yeah. So I've had nothing but tech issues recently, and I'm done with them. I too much for Throne. Apparently, it says unable to order your item. I'm trying to figure it out. Feed. On. I'll figure it out. And if I can't figure it out in a few minutes, orders tab. Oh, okay. I just couldn't do it on phone, which honestly is valid. 1 second. I had to refund it to my balance, basically. So let's see. Unavailable. Okay. Balance. Also, thank you again. I'm sorry I'm making you. Hang on. I'll make it up to you. I'll dance for you. I'll be the good internet clown that I am and dance for you. Like that? That doing anything for you? Eh? Like, give me my shit. Forgiven and then some? Thank you. I'm confused. Balance. Hang on. I haven't played WoW since Legion. How do I connect my bank? Where I at? What? How do I do? How do? I don't understand this super optimized for mobile UI. Ah! Integrations. Balance. Set up withdrawals. Okay. Oh, there was a big old button. I'm sorry, everybody. Stat squish? Ah, okay. Grown. This is stuff I need to learn anyway. There we go, it's the trash button. Okay, I just haven't looked, I'll put it that way. Same, and that's probably why I love Guild Wars 2 so much, is because... Next... Promising... Up, up.